This is not a test. This is going live. Let's see what's going on here today. Put that music down for just a second as we're getting set up here. Just a moment, everyone. I'll be with you in just a... Oh, no. See? I always do something right before to mess things up. There we go. Get the rest of this stuff going on here. Well, I'm back on another unexpected stream here, as promised. How was I muted? I don't like that. Well, let's just get right into the stream. This sound better? For some reason, I wasn't going through right. There's always something I mess up on this. You think I would get used to this after a while, but apparently not. Well, as you can see, we've got some stuff going on here. I'm going to be streaming some Halo Master Chief Collection. The footage is going to start out on the Xbox Series X, and depending on how far we get into it, it may switch over to Xbox One footage because... actually, Xbox One S footage because I didn't have a chance to collect a lot of footage from the Series X. Then again, I could switch over to a different game, too. But also during today's stream, we're going to recap Microsoft's E3 presentation, as I heard it was very good, and I've seen some things written about it, just haven't watched it all the way through myself. Checking out some of the trending news on here. Well, that's not a tweet trend I want to go on. What's happening right now? Images of tickets for a second inauguration are doctor, fact checkers say. Huh. Well, I don't know what that is. What celebrities looked like at 18 years old compared to now? That's something. Don't know who that is, but they're about to become a Marvel villain. And hashtag trans men are men. People respond to a tweet asking for them to show solidarity to support transgendered men. This is Pride Month, right? Guess we're seeing some things on here. Here we go. Topics to follow. This is more my speed here. Streets of Rage video game. Now, that doesn't sound like something I would be interested in, is it? I'm not following Sega, game developers, and publisher. We're going to follow them. Secret of Mana video game. Is there a new one coming out for those? I'm starting to get ready here. I know I'm talking over the cutscene. That's going to get a little annoying, so I'm going to tone that down a little bit. Hopefully, everything comes right there. Just waiting on some chat activity before we get started on the E3 presentation. I know I told people I was going to stream today, but I have never streamed on a Wednesday, so I don't know what kind of audience we're going to get for this. Hopefully you guys see something you enjoy. So while streaming the Xbox E3 presentation, I'm going to be streaming some Series X footage of Halo Master Chief Collection. This has been enhanced for the Series X, but I have a suspicion this is the Xbox One X version that's just maybe taking advantage of additional clock cycles. Because what I'm noticing here is everything does look a bit smoother, but then again, in terms of frame rate. But other than that, resolution-wise, it looks about the same to me. You guys will only be able to see this at 720. I'm seeing this at 1080-60. But when I played this earlier, it was 4K 60, so... I mean, it looks good to me. Especially when compared to the original version. So, yes, let me see here. Secret of Mana, tweaks about the topic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. RPG remaster coming to PlayStation. PS4 June 24th.
Let's give our old friends a warm.
That's from 20 hours ago from PlayStation. I guess I can pull up Microsoft's or Xbox's Twitter account here too. See what they got going on in the chat as well. Oh, on that's funny. PlayStation's Twitter banner is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. The definitive experience is out now. When is that coming to other consoles, or is that specifically exclusive to their... Oh, and their pinned tweet is about Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, of course. You know, I didn't even think about that. I'm not following PlayStation or PlayStation 5.
You heard the lady. Move like you got a purpose.
This is not a drill.
I guess I should be following more of these other topics that are being suggested to me. Up.
Once again, it is our job to finish with
Ha.
the Fly Boys story.
Funny tweets. Is there such a thing? Is that a little oxymoronic? Anyway.
On solid ground. When we
Well, let's go ahead and get started on this thing. I don't think the audio is going to come through on this. At least it shouldn't be.
Am I right?
Because you guys are going to be watching the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Damn right I am. Now move it out. Double time.
Get rid of that interference. And let's go. But I should be able to hear what's going on here. Oh, and they have closed captioning. Thank goodness.
All you greenhorns who wanted to see Covenant up close, this is gonna be your lucky day.
There's epic music playing.
Sir? Right.
Hey, Montano, welcome to the stream.
Okay.
How's your day going?
Systems online. Cracking the case in 30 seconds.
Today we're kind of doing what I did yesterday, but I'm doing it with Microsoft's presentation instead. This was by, I guess, at least one person suggested on the stream yesterday, so we're playing some Halo Master Chief Collection as I check out E3 from Microsoft. I'm sorry, the Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. Have you watched any of this yet?
Mr. Chief, things are a little hectic right now. The disorientation should pass quickly.
Welcome back, sir. We'll have you battle ready stat.
It's interesting, they have a stage set up just like they would have done it in front of a live audience, but as far as I'm
For your battle suit.
concerned, they didn't do any live events for E3 again this year. Was that correct?
Good. Thank you, sir.
I'm bringing your health monitors online, sir.
Believe it or not, I actually tried to, as this guy's talking, I tried to,
Signs look
well,
normal.
last year they
No
did that.
concern. Okay,
What?
Sir, go ahead and climb out of the cryo tube.
I typed in E3 into Google and it says, did I mean Office 365 E3? Is that a trick question?
I gave you a double dose of the wake-up
Yeah,
pill.
no,
Take a quick walk around the cryo bay and join me at the optical diagnostic station when you're ready.
I'm getting on E3's website here to see if they had any. Oh, E3 2022. See you next year. So I'm thinking they're gonna try to do something in person next year. You can still visit the online portal where we watch the broadcast and exclusive content from exhibitors. Don't wait. Access ends June 30th. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did some back and forth there with the graphics on Halo,
Ordnance techs usually take care of your
just to see what's
targets.
going on here. Of course, I got to go through the.
Time, Chief. Just look at each of the
Oh yeah,
flashing bandits
Starfield.
you're targeting.
So
When you
I haven't
lock
seen
on,
anything
it'll
about this
change
game.
color.
Checking out two different monitors here, so sorry if I'm a little off.
Okay, that looks good.
Sir, I'm getting some calibration errors.
But I heard this was very heavily hyped.
So you can see if you like it better that way. Try targeting the flashing lights again. Is that better?
What?
Or should I switch it back?
They're talking about Starfield a lot, and
Do you want me to leave it like
spoiler
that?
alert,
Yeah.
apparently it's not coming out till November 11th of 2022.
If you want, you can check it
Interesting.
yourself later. I'm ready for the energy shield test now.
Please follow me to the energy shield test station.
Fire teams, report to defensive positions Alpha through Sierra.
Now I'm looking at
Inbound Covenant boarding craft. Stand by to repel boarders.
everything else here. I really like changing the graphics on the fly on Halo ever since I learned how to do that. Especially in the very opening scene, because that's the one that's ingrained into our memory.
Okay, bring his energy shield.
Played it so many times. Mainly because I didn't have an Xbox back in the day. In fact, we had we called it a community
All
Xbox.
right. Shields read as fully
Um,
charged.
The computer club at my high school had an Xbox that we fundraised to get, and we were able to check it out week by week to different people in Computer Club, and I think I was one of the only few people that actually checked it out. So I would check it out, and then somebody else would check it out, and they'd delete the old Halo saves. So every time I had to start over from the beginning. Of course, most of the time I was playing it, it'd be multiplayer, right?
Recharging normally.
Yep.
We're showing green
11-11-22. That's really strange when they focus on a game that's not going to be out until after next year's E3. I guess they want to get the word out there and get it hyped up, but I thought I had heard about this game before. Maybe it was, I want to say it was maybe it was leaked. I have no idea. Xbox exclusive, 11-11-22. This seems like so far away, right? Play it game 1 of Game Pass. All right.
This way.
Oh, this is actually available in 4K 60. The E3 presentation was. I didn't know that. I saw something online, somebody posted that said words and phrases they wish to never hear again that were like commonplace during this year. And one of them was challenging times, essential. Obviously Fauci was one. But I also heard too, that was kind of strange. You know what one of the top baby names was last year? Inspired by the pandemic? You'll never guess it. There we go. Now we're getting into some action here. And you're going to see some very horrible Halo playthrough here because I was more or less just trying... I don't know, I was kind of distracted as I was playing this. Of course, now I got to get to the bridge and see Captain Keyes.
Good to see you, Master Chief. Things aren't going well. Cortana did her best, but we...
Alright, let's just get to the game trailers. I should have just pulled up the game trailers and played those.
Battleships against a single Halcyon class cruiser. With those odds, I'm content with 3. Make that 4 kills.
Looks like another survival horror game kind of thing.
So you did miss me.
I will say this, and this is something I found in a lot of E3 presentations from the previous years, is that all of the gameplay trailers, at least in my opinion, seem to run together. At least in my opinion, that's been kind of the big thing for me.
While you do what? Go down with the ship?
In a manner of speaking, the object we found...
Like we just saw Starfield, and even though this takes place in a completely different environment, I know we're going to see a lot of darkly lit environments to take advantage of HDR. It's kind of like a E3 in 2008, 2009. All of the games looked the same then. They were all first-person shooters. They all had an orange tint to them. They all had the background environments all blurred out because that was like a trick that they could do to make the environment seem more expansive than it is without wasting a lot of processing power. So, yeah, we're seeing some... That's disturbing.
Keep her safe from the enemy. If they capture her, they'll learn everything. Force deployment, weapons research, Earth. I understand.
So we're seeing a first-person experience here.
The Autumn will continue evasive
Weird,
maneuvers until you initiate a landing sequence. Not that you'll listen, but I'd suggest letting my subroutines handle the final approach.
Excellent work, Cortana. Thank you. Are you ready?
I have no idea what this game is.
Yank me.
As we see Cortana getting taken from the bridge of the Autumn... Pillar of Autumn, sorry.
Good luck, Master Chief.
Based on what I've seen so far, I can already tell you Nintendo's is better.
Architecture isn't much different from the Autumn's.
Don't get any funny ideas.
Apparently that first game we saw was the highlight, because that's all I see. Bethesda apologizes? What? For exclusivity? Can be frustrating for some gamers. I don't know, what are the cliches in modern day gaming? Oh, here we go, now we're fighting some things through.
Those Marines could use some help, Keith. Do what you do best.
Oops, friendly fire, guys. Lead, follow, or get out of the way means get out of the way.
Hold your fire!
Mr. Tamio, welcome to the stream. Hello to you as well, how you been? I'm just gonna ask here, since we've already got a couple of you guys in the stream. That's very disturbing. Yeah. Microsoft, PlayStation, or Nintendo? You had to pick one. Which one would you go with? I will say Microsoft is very cinematic. It was not like game after game after game like Nintendo's was. I think that was something that was to their advantage. Because then people didn't have to sit there and wonder what this game is the entire time like I am. Oh wow, we're at Chernobyl. How about that? Or someplace that looks like it. Been watching the Euro football. Oh yeah? How's that going? That would have been more impressive had I been able to dodge his hits. I don't know why my flashlight's on either.
They're using our lifeboat airlocks to attach their boarding craft. We go out and they come in. Clever bastards.
Oh yeah, there's World War II, there's World War I, World War II gas masks. I'm assuming that's World War II. I'm sorry, World War I mean. Those are the ones that they always like to say are very scary. Stalker 2, dramatic sound. Heart of Chernobyl. Well, not until April of 2022. Let's say Game Pass. Day one with Game Pass. Okay, so that'll be something I can check out. I will say that one's a bit more, hopefully, I don't know. Survival horror games, for some reason, have not been that scary to me, only because I don't respond to jump scares like that very easily. Because I'm hard of hearing, and usually jump scares only work because of the sound. Like, a loud sound startles people, and that's been all it's been. Unfortunately. Michael Z, welcome to the stream. I had to pick one, hard to pick one, sorry, since you like all three. Seem to use your Series X more than your other consoles. Yeah, that's kind of been my, I would say up until Ratchet & Clank came out, that was mine.
Keep your head down. There's two of us in here now, remember?
As well, I was using my Xbox Series X a lot more. Mute my watch so it doesn't go off again. But I think that's mainly due to Game Pass. Like, I only have a few games for my PS5, but Game Pass has now given me access to over 100 games. So, yeah, I've been playing that a lot more now, but it's just the new system in town. We'll have to give it time to see which one I play more overall. Introducing Swarm Mode MVP. Now, here's another thing, too, I know is not very popular to say, but when I'm looking at a game experience, and maybe that's part of the Player One channel philosophy, I'm looking for the single-player mode first, because I will very, very rarely be playing games multiplayer, at least with randoms. Now, except for a game like Rocket League, which that's like the only reason to play that game. Back 4 Blood 2. Day one on Game Pass. Alright, again, something I'll check out. Game Pass is really going to be why I play a lot of these games I wouldn't normally play, because if I'm buying a new game, I'm a lot more picky than when I go for retro games. Up, get your nostalgia button ready, we got a record player. Xbox start making Rock Band ripoffs. Hey, I guess just Price, welcome to the stream. That's a ton of games. Yes, it is. That's why I said, being instantly given access to 100 games, and a lot of these, I can show you a few of the other Xbox Series X games that I've played so far. Because what I did is I went through my Game Pass subscription and all the games I downloaded to try, and I sorted it by which ones will play on the Series X or are enhanced for the Series X, and then I put everything else, I arranged it by system. So I started playing Xbox 360 games that I hadn't played before, at least not on the Xbox 360. Excuse me. And then I started playing some Series X stuff. So what you're seeing right now was captured directly from my Series X, but because the stream quality is only 720p, at least at 60 frames a second, it's not going to look as good. One thing I will say is the gameplay on this is a bit smoother than it was on the Xbox One. I had the Xbox One S, though. The S, not the X. So the cheap model. So anyway, since you were on the stream yesterday, and I'll ask you this too, Augustus, Xbox, Nintendo, or PlayStation? If you had to pick one, which one would you lean towards? Up until I actually got a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox, it's kind of strange. I would have said one that I actually is one I have not played since I got these other two consoles. It's really strange. I was playing it a lot before I got these two consoles, but sadly, I just haven't played it much anymore. All right, let's see what the record is for that. Do It Again by Steely Dan playing. Well, that's a good thing I'm not playing the sound from this then.
The life pods are launching. We should hurry.
Oh yeah, I know that song.
One blast door is closing. The Covenant are destroying the life pods.
This is the that's like elevator waiting music. The Do It Again by Steely Dan. That didn't even take you a moment's hesitation, Augustus. PlayStation just right off the bat, right? Too bad they're not doing a E3 this year. Are they doing another State of Play anytime soon? Okay, I do like co-op games. Co-op, open world. So I'm looking up my Halo footage here. Again, the HDR, showing those black blacks and the bright whites. I guess dark blacks. And the loading is very seamless in the Xbox Series X version, I will say.
Activating motion tracker. Let's find a safe exit.
Contraband.
We're too close.
Is that a remake or is that something that's already out there?
Motion tracker shows all clear. Wait.
I like how they show absolutely zero information about the game. Play it day one with Game Pass, not even a release date. Did anybody get the release date for that one? Hang on a second. Now they're going through gameplay trailers. Yeah, no release date on that. Let's check this out. This is why I like looking at this presentation like days later, because then I can actually start. That's to not spoil the game. Well, true, but they can show like how you jump into the first level or something like that, because they have co-op and it's set open world. Contraband. Xbox. Release dates. Let's see if they got one.
It looks like the Covenant wanted to catch
All I got is rumors here, so I'm assuming there's no announced release date for this. I don't even know what kind of game it is. It's an open world co-op game, that's all I know. And that's all that Google's telling me when I do that. So let's not spoil the game yet. Okay, I guess it could be a while out before it gets released. But isn't that part of the point of E3 is to announce? I mean, I guess they announced the game. But I'd like to know one other thing about it. Now, I'm not trying to be too critical. I'm just saying I'm a little upset because, okay, I'm intrigued. I liked the name. They got like these little pieces of information. But to me, it's like watching a TV show here. I'm left hanging, and I have no idea when the rest of this cliffhanger's coming. So we'll see what happens. It said co-op. I wonder if you can play it single player. I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, now here's a game I got for the Xbox One that I really... This is one of the reasons that I wanted to get. I'm like, Rare is back in the game is what I kept thinking. And I still actually haven't played it. Sea of Thieves. I should pop this in and start playing it and see if there's people playing it. It's online only, right? Sea of Thieves is. Okay, they got a little Goonies cave going on here. Hey, you guys. Huntress Ross, welcome to the stream. Hello, player one. Low player start one. I can watch your live stream for now, but later this evening around 6 I have to get off on the phone. Oh, no problem. I'm not going to be on. I don't plan to be on past 6:30. It's going to be a shorter stream tonight because this is like I said, usually a night that I don't stream. Is that a reveal that they're adding Captain Jack Sparrow to Sea of Thieves? Oh yeah, they're starting to add all the Pirates of the Caribbean characters. That's nice. The original Xbox is turning 20 this November. No kidding. Yep, that's right. 2001 to 2021. It's a good thing we didn't see Bill Gates on stage talking about a hamburger this time. That's all I can say. Anybody remember that? Hold the controller with both hands like a hamburger. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at Bill Gates. Oh, that's what we wanted to see.
Now would be a very good
Davy Jones, civvy.
Punch it.
Sorry, I'm not meaning to parody. Parody is the highest form of flattery. I gotta tell you, this is probably going to make me want to play this even more. I wanted to play it originally when they first announced it. And it was one of the few games I got when I got the Xbox. I literally put it in, downloaded everything, and still never played it. I wonder if that's Johnny Depp doing the voice for that, or if they got an impersonator.
I knew it. The Autumn's accelerating. Keys is going in manual.
It sounds pretty good if it's not him. Sea of Thieves: A Pirate's Life. Definitely want to play that. An epic original story. Is it? So is that like a coming free to Sea of Thieves June 22nd?
Sure you wouldn't rather
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
I'm gonna have to pop in my old disc then and get that going.
if I still had
Let me pause
fingers
this for a
and
second.
crossed.
So go back there. So coming free to Sea of Thieves June 22nd. Disney Game Pass. So I think, is this already on Game Pass? People who know that? Sorry, I was too busy looking at Sea of Thieves to realize we made it through the first level of Halo.
We're coming in too fast.
Yeah, the original controller was huge. In fact, so huge, I hated the original Xbox controller. When they finally came in with that, I guess the revised, did they call it the S controller? Or the light controller? I forgot what they called it. But it was the revised one that was definitely smaller, about the size of...
Chief, can you hear me?
Yeah, here it is.
At last. Are you all right? Can you move?
I've still got my original Xbox down here that I got a couple years ago. This is the revised controller. It's the controller S. Imagine that. 20 years of keeping the same name scheme. Here's an original S controller.
Levels.
You guys can see that on the back. It's got a serial number with it too. Xbox controller S. And this feels a lot better than the other one did. It's not as high. And yes, I would hold any controller with two hands, Bill.
Warning.
If you're watching, I know he is.
Detected multiple Covenant dropships on approach. I recommend moving.
So yeah,
into
still
the
have my
tunnels.
original Xbox.
We're lucky. The Covenant
over
will
here. Yeah, the
believe that everyone
Duke.
aboard this lifeboat
You got
died
that
in
right,
a
Randy?
crash.
Randall, sorry. Randall Letty. Welcome to the stream. Yes, the typo. Yep. Absolutely. Alright, I'm going to have to switch over here, because we're nearing the end of my...
Alert.
I just played through the first level of Halo, and then got a little bit more of it. So I'll ask you guys in the stream, do you want to see more Halo, even though it's not on the Series X, or do you want to see another Series X game that I've already played? Let me know in the comments field before this video runs out. You got about 2 minutes before I have to change the video. And then we'll move on here. So, haven't heard an answer for my Sea of Thieves question yet, so... Sea of Thieves... Game Pass. I would assume it is, because I heard it kind of flopped. Didn't do as well as they hoped it would. But I was kind of excited just to see Rare back in the game. I don't know if they're just going off of there. Okay, so the ratings on it are not terrible, but the ones that... It's either a 5 or a 1. They don't put... There's not too many reviews in between. Included with Xbox Game Pass. So yeah, it's on there. I'm going to have to download that then. You want to see a new one? All right. We got one vote for new one. You have the Minecraft texture pack for Halo? I have never seen that. Is that a thing? While that's going on, I'll go ahead and continue the Xbox presentation because we got to get through this. This is actually the first time I've watched it, but I've read a whole bunch of stuff about it, of course. And seen some reaction videos.
I'm reading a lifeboat beacon over the
I did like this too. The entire Yakuza saga is on here, which is hilarious because over the last, like, this spring and last winter, I had bought all of the remasters that did for PS4. So, of course, I now have access to all of them on Game Pass, too, so that's probably what I'm going to play them on. Only console editions? I don't know what that's to. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to play on here is another Series X title, upgraded from the Xbox One, because this is just what they have on Game Pass. The next one I'm going to play here is Forza Horizon 4. This is actually one that I really wanted to play because I got it for Xbox One, and I think I played it a little bit, but none of my save files transferred over. So, definitely do that. Let's get rid of Halo. Yep. DICE, eh? EA hasn't gotten rid of them yet? I am kind of excited for Forza Horizon 5. Isn't that coming out sometime soon? You know what's kind of funny is I can't find any box art that has these with the Series X branding on it. Which I did see that to calm some of the confusion. Microsoft did acknowledge that they're going to change the box art for their titles because they realized how confusing it's been to try to get people to figure out which game goes to which console. The problem is I still think part of it is still misleading because they're going to have some games that work on the Series X and the S, but they're not going to be specifically upgraded or optimized for that system. I don't know how to describe it. They're just going to be the old game running on the new system. I don't think I've ever seen a tornado going through a city like that. Definitely not from the ground. But here we go, another first-person shooter. Just saying how some of these can... This is a pre-alpha build. So this game's not coming out for a while. I think this is part of the problem that they talked about with, like, what Nintendo had to put out this year. I'm sure that's the reason why they didn't announce, like, the Metroid Prime 4 thing that they were all talking about. Or I'll say that a lot of reaction videos were talking about. So DICE putting this out, I'm trying to think of what this game actually is. I'm sure a lot of people already know. But I'm trying to figure it out as I'm watching the trailer. First-person games date back to 3D Monster Maze. Well, yeah, and remember the 3D screensaver? That kind of looked like it was made with Doom graphics. Had the brick walls. And then sometimes it would run into things that would flip the maze over. I remember showing that to someone, saying, and the kid went, man, I wish they still did screensavers like that. So it is Battlefield. I was kind of thinking that. 2042. Okay, I did hear this was announced. October 22nd. Game Pass? No, hold on. Let's go back to that.
Here's what I see.
Because they have EA Play, but it looks like, yeah, I mean, they'd almost be stupid to do that, because they're gonna cut their sales of that in half if they just put it on Game Pass.
Where you can be
So,
whatever you want to be.
all right, 2042 looks interesting. That tornado concept, I don't know how that's going to come into play. I think most people play those games for the multiplayer, though. James McAvoy and Daisy Ridley. So Professor X and...
That's the horizon I see.
Huh, isn't that funny? I can't remember her name. Rey. Rey from Star Wars.
Let me show you. Welcome
Top-down
to
perspective.
A new beginning for the
Looks like an
festival
indie title.
that never ends. Don't go anywhere. Horizon is here to stay.
12 minutes. And of course that's going to come out with Game Pass. Okay, gonna tell you that one looks disappointing. I understand they have to have games to put on Game Pass, but that's probably one I'm not even going to bother downloading. Another indie title here. Let's see if this one's going to be worth a shot. The Mind of the Final Frontier in Humanity. Raz, I'm ready for anything. From the Genius Minds. Double Fine Productions. Cranium Combat. Interesting style. Headsploration. Interesting. Strange concept of the game. As you guys see me very horribly racing on Forza Horizon 4. I will say this does look pretty darn good on the Series X. The upscaling's done pretty well. 60 frames a second looks good. If only I had the 4K 120 monitor, I would be... This is a game I like to see in 4K 120 if it has that capability. That's another thing, too, is that you don't know which games are going to have that capability or not on the Series X. Same thing with the PlayStation 4, but at least it'll let you know. It'll talk about, oh, we're going to sacrifice frame rate to turn off ray tracing. That was something we saw in the stream with Ratchet & Clank on Sunday of this week. Psychonauts 2. I don't think I've ever played Psychonauts. Played on day one with Game Pass. Alright, I'll give that one a shot. I was actually kind of thinking, I'm like, I wonder how much of a price they would put on that kind of a game. Alright, Pete Hines, who is Director of Communications, so an office worker. He's going to talk about something that, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Bethesda's been around for 35 years. Sounds like a long time. What's happening with Fallout? Oh, what's coming next for Fallout 76? Have any of you guys played Fallout 76? In all honesty? Let you know, I bought that from a retailer. And it was so bad, I returned it to the store. And when I mean so bad, I mean... when it worked, it was uninteresting. And it barely worked. Like, it kept crashing my PS4 when I got it. So I returned it, and I will never buy it again. So much work has been put into these games, though. Oh, absolutely. I gotta keep saying, I'm glad that they're still supporting Fallout 76, despite the beginning, but I felt so... It was the first and only game I had played from the Fallout series. I want to say, I guess I played the original Fallout on PC way back in the day, but Fallout 76 was so disappointing. I didn't want to pick it up again.
Don't miss the checkpoint, so let's go.
I'm just watching it myself racing. So we have a Fallout 76 announcement. They're adding stuff to that. I wasn't really into that. The open world first person shooter. I don't even know if that's what it is. Fallout 76 Steel Rain. Available July 7th, free for Fallout 76 players. Like I said, I'm glad that they are still supporting that title for the people that stuck with them through it, to be honest. Just not going to be me. This is one of those games that takes up almost the entire screen. You can barely see the HUD. There we go. Because I need to adjust my borders here a little bit because my widescreen is not wide enough.
Hey, Blue, thread the needle with me.
So as I'm watching the Xbox showcase here, we've already asked which gun you guys prefer. We had one solid for PlayStation. We had a hard to choose. If you guys haven't talked about which one you would choose yet, please let me know. Fallout 76, the Expedition Pit's in Game Pass. So, is Fallout 76 in Game Pass? I didn't even look.
Red's down, red's down.
You can hide the HUD in game. Oh, that's right. I'm not saying that I guess I could turn that down, but I like having the HUD there. Like, whenever I rewind, it goes away. And I did have to rewind a couple times because I kept making mistakes in this.
Looks like I'm the only one left.
Of course, this is like the tutorial level to teach you how to play the game, too, so keep that in mind. This is my first time playing it. Of course, I have to have the cinematic where you cross the line with the motorbike.
This is it, Horizon. We
Now,
are
this looks
kicking off the
intriguing.
summer season with the greatest race of all
Thousands of
time.
stories, millions of players.
Point
Okay.
yourself in the direction of Horizon.
Feel like
Your foot down. First to the festival wins.
this is a game I've already played.
Don't sweat it. The Jets aren't in the race. They're just happy to be here. Oh yeah.
The art styles of these fantasy games are seriously next level. I mean, massive board optimized for this Xbox Series X. Yeah, this is a game I've already played.
People are lining the streets to get a load of the action. Cheer these
Sorry, I don't recognize every single game by look because, as I said, the modern games to me all run together. Elder Scrolls Online. Yep, I was gonna say Elder Scrolls. I don't think I've ever played the online Elder Scrolls. The last one I played was Oblivion. I think I was. Oh, I'm sorry, not Oblivion. Skyrim. Okay, we're launching nuclear missiles out of a submarine. Never seen a stealth plane with propellers. I thought they had jets on those things. What in the world is this?
there too.
They got stuffed animals hanging onto every missile.
The most incredible hypercars
Pick
are
your
all
fuzzy
here.
fighter.
I can see it shifting up.
Is it weird I've never seen this? Or maybe I wasn't paying attention?
FXXK.
Holocaust Wild multiplayer modes.
And is that a Vulcan? Oh, Horizon, you do not want to miss
Yeah,
out on
I'm looking at the same thing you're looking at.
Look at that Senna go. I mean, the
I kept wondering, should I switch the, wonder if I'm gonna get first in this race. Should I switch the race window with the E3 window?
final straight.
Have my gameplay footage small and just do the, react to the, E3 moment, because that's what I'm staring at. Party like an animal. This looks like something I would expect to see on the Switch, to tell you the truth. But maybe that's something they're going for. Party animals. Coming 2022 on Game Pass, obviously. Okay. I will definitely try that on Game Pass. That would be a game I'd be curious to try if it wasn't on Game Pass. I already forgot the name of it, but I will look that up again
I try my best.
when they announce it,
Is everyone
or when it
here?
releases on Game
All
Pass.
right, boss.
It's not coming out
Get
till next year,
ready.
though.
Great.
I heard this was going to be a slow year going into it, though, because of all the problems that they had getting stuff done. It's almost as if there was this huge thing that everybody went through that, I hope this becomes like an area in history that nobody ever wants to talk about again. Other than the fact that I can say, apparently my, okay, I did see Hades was getting an upgrade to the X and S. I'm sorry, getting an upgrade is coming out for the X/S.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Kira, director of the festival. Looks like you've made a good impression with our talent scouts.
This one might have a real chance of taking a spot.
One thing I like about Forza Horizon 4 is it is also very cinematic. That's something that I've mentioned in the story here, but basically, it gives you a story mode as a reason to why you're racing. It's something that I thought was kind of missing, at least out of the Gran Turismos that I remember playing. I'm thinking back to Gran Turismo 5. I might be thinking of 4 and 3. But there was obviously less of a storyline behind what you were doing. And this looks like another indie title. One thing I will say about indie titles is that you're going to see a completely different gaming experience from what you expect out of a AAA game. Some of them for the better, some of them, of course, not for the better, but I just like how unique each gameplay experience is. Like, they're all different from each other. And you can tell that the people who made it are very passionate about how they made their game and very specific about what they wanted the game to be. They didn't sit there and listen to market research and be like, oh, this is what everybody wants to see. Or this is the kind of game that everybody's going to love to play. It's like a very niche. Somerville, huh? Yeah, again, most of this stuff's coming out next year in 2022. I haven't seen a lot of 2021 games being released here. There it is. They're talking about the 20th anniversary now. Okay, so this is what in Halo Infinite obviously is going to be the big reveal here. Although there's a lot of people... Yeah, let's watch the Halo Infinite trailer here.
I expect you'll want to get a feel for your new car. So I've signed you up to some events to get you started. See you there.
Alright, let's just skip to the gameplay. Is Halo Infinite completely multiplayer, or is there a single player story you can play through at all? Not that it really needs to be, but... Okay, apparently it does have a story. It's kind of funny, I was just talking about earlier how I've only played the odd-numbered Halos, or at least played through them seriously. I may have tried Halo 4 at one point, but I've played through most of 3, and I've beat 1, and I beat 5 co-op with another person online. So it's kind of interesting that I missed some of the story in 4, I think. And obviously I haven't played Halo Wars or Halo Reach or anything like that. But obviously, this is what people wanted to see out of this Xbox conference. 20 years. It's almost like Microsoft built a platform around one game, in my opinion. Obviously, there's other games to play, like Forza is another exclusive that I'm playing on here. But I mean, honestly, the draw to Xbox for most people in the very beginning is Halo. That's the one, right? Mr. Tamia says... I'd like to see the Forza video games to come onto the PlayStation 4 and onto the PlayStation 5. Video game developers will make a lot more money. Yeah, unfortunately, it is Microsoft Studios that are publishing those, correct? So, doubt we'd ever see that. If anything, we'd see them on Windows. But yeah, I'd like to see something like that added to, like, Gran Turismo. But then again, the Forza Motorsports series is different from the Forza Horizon series, from what I understand. I haven't played a lot of them to be able to tell you what all the differences are. Here I am trying to act like I'm going to make changes to my car here. I completely do not understand everything whoops, that I need to change yet. There we go. Get on to the race. I also do like how it doesn't matter how much damage you do to your car, unlike I think Gran Turismo is a bit more picky about how you drive. This one I can casually play through it. Yep, that didn't work out well. Did you guys see how I picked my car, though? I completely forgot to mention that. I decided to pick my car on here. There was a Ford Focus, an Audi something, and a 1969 Dodge Challenger. Or Dodge Charger, or whatever it is. That just completely diminishes what I was going to say. I was like, that was not a question. Which car would I want to drive? Obviously, it's the Dodge. So I'm glad to see that Halo Infinite is going to have a strong storyline to it. Just don't know what that storyline, how it's going to connect to the last one, how it's going to connect to Guardians. And Gran Turismo should be on Xbox too. Yes, I agree. They would need to pay a ton of cash to get the rights. And who knows? If Xbox doesn't make it this generation like they want to, maybe Game Pass and xCloud come to PlayStation. And then you would get your wish. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of mistakes in this one. I do like that rewind feature now that I've found it on the Forza game. Here's my problem with online maps. I'm a very casual online player. I just want to get in, play, go through. I'm not a person who studies every map, finds all the sniper locations and all the respawn points and the stuff that's the very serious online. I don't want to say very serious. Just the people who have more time than I do. That just ruins the fun for online multiplayer for me. I can do online co-op. And I can do like online teams. But of course people get mad because I don't know where all the respawn points are, and I'm not familiar with every single map. And that's another thing too, if you don't buy it day one, or even have access to like beta builds of the game like some people do, you're already not gonna win. For somebody who just wants to play casually. It's just like there should be like what they do with Rocket League almost. Put you with the people who you rank in the same category with. The problem is then you're going to get people who create new accounts. And, oh, they're level 2, but for some reason I keep getting sniped in the head by them. Have an Xbox One, like to drive the 1958 Plymouth Fury, known as Christine in the Forza Horizon 3 video game. Don't have the fourth one. Yeah, the fourth one is the only one I do have, actually. I have it on disc, but this is the Game Pass version for the Series X. Ah, I missed a checkpoint. Checkpoint miss, yep. As you can see here, I'm not racing very well because I'm learning how to play the game as I'm doing it. Getting used to the controls. Now, I'm sure... Holiday 2021. Now, that's a very interesting statement. That's what I want to point out on the Halo Infinite. I'm not sure if that's means it's going to come out by December. Because Holiday 2021, I don't know. I'm thinking it's not going to be on time. It may be delayed one more time. I think they're under massive pressure to meet that deadline. So either there's going to be a glitch that's going to turn many away, or there's going to be another delay. I mean, it's just they already had to delay it by it's going to look like at least a year. I, for some reason, don't think that they're going to be able to get everything they want to out. And maybe they do cut a lot of content in that becomes DLC or downloaded after the game. They like get like these polished areas out first. I have the feeling there's a lot of compromises being made to meet this deadline, especially after the year that we've had. For something that a lot of people thought was going to be a launch title. So anyway, there's that. Now that we've seen Halo, to tell you the truth, is there anything else in this presentation I really need to watch? They have Slime Rancher 2.
Keep performing like that, and you'll be invited to the next round of the series.
A snowboarding game going to come out this December. Looks like another Game Pass exclusive. A game called Atomic Heart.
Hello, I'm Anna.
Like I said, I wasn't planning on watching this whole thing on stream. Age of Empires 4. Okay, now that's something I'm going to watch. Let's go back here. There's the Ascent. Play it day one with the Game Pass. I like how it says dramatic sound on the subtitles every
I
time.
have plotted your route to a new race in
There'll be a lot of bugs, you think?
racing series.
Hopefully not. I'm hoping not. I'm just saying there is a lot of pressure on them to get this out on time. And just seeing how that usually works out, I'm going off of experience, not off of what I want to happen.
See what takes your fancy.
I was just talking about in the last stream with Advanced Wars how much I used to play like Age of Empires, which is more... It's a different type of strategy game. And now, Age of Empires 4, is a mouse and keyboard compatible on the Xbox Series consoles? If it is, all day long I'll play this. I used to love Age of Empires on Windows 98. I was very saddened when that copy of my game stopped working and then they had to make me re-buy it so I can play it on Windows 10. I don't know if I ever did, actually. I think I just booted up an old Windows 98 laptop and started playing it on there again when I wanted to. Age of Mythology was another good one. Oh yeah, get your battles. Get your troops battling. Sea battles, which I don't think were in the first one. Make history your story. Age of Empires 4. Looks like they got Genghis Khan in there too, so I'm very curious about that. Game Pass for PC, Windows 10 PC, Xbox Cloud Gaming. What? So this isn't even an Xbox game, it's a PC game? I know they have the whole xCloud thing. I'm specifically looking for publisher is Xbox Game Studios, platform is Microsoft Windows. Well, that's disappointing. Alright, so Xbox did have a very good presentation overall, and I did see some of the stuff. I was very surprised I didn't see anyone talking about Age of Empires 4. And now I know why. Why is the reason why it can't come out on Xbox? I don't want to play it through cloud gaming. I don't want to play it through the cloud on my Xbox. I want the Xbox itself doing all the work on that one. Sorry about that. Mic started coming off because I keep moving it. Anybody else play Age of Empires games back in the day? Of course, now they got me all hyped for it. I'm like, oh, this is coming out for Xbox, because this is an Xbox thing. Nope. Let's see here. Okay, so... The Outer Worlds 2. I never played the first one. Oh, here's Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think. And let's see, is this thing going to come out on Xbox? I thought it was. I really like the look of the Microsoft Flight Simulator games. They just look fantastic. Game Pass? No. Yeah, definitely not a Game Pass title. You're gonna have to buy that one. Does that mean I have to get like a flight control stick that works with the Xbox? Or is the PC version gonna work on there too? Nice, I just passed for first place. What'd that say, sir? Available July 27th, 2021. Oh, it does say Game Pass. Day one on Game Pass? Does not say. Slow version of the Top Gun theme playing is what it said. Is this the game? Is this a game that was supposed to coincide with the Top Gun movie? Graphics look astonishing, to tell you the truth. And I'm viewing this in 1080. Ah, so Top Gun Maverick. Play it day one with Game Pass. Okay, so we got another game I'm going to play. This is one I'm genuinely excited for. Believe it or not, I used to play Microsoft Flight Simulator, again, back in the day, on a Windows 98 PC. But I've always been kind of fascinated with it, and I've seen a lot of people. There's a few people who I know who actually have like an actual flight rig to hook up to their computer so they can do the Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff. I thought that'd be awesome to try to do. Just get a huge TV in front of you, sit down in a rig, and do all that stuff with it. My brother actually has one. I'm sure. I don't know. He's not into like Forza as much, like console racing gaming. He's really into iRacing, which is a more serious, like professional,
I've put you through to the next round
virtualized racing league simulator. And he has his own. He spent like, I want to say he spent a lot of money. I'm not going to say the exact amount on steering wheel and pedals that works very well with that to make it as realistic as possible. He even has like a roll cage thing that he mounts a TV in and he gets in so he can play it. That's I don't know what he uses for that. Last I knew, all he had was a PlayStation 4, and I don't know if he has that on there. But anyway, so that is something here. I'm going to go back. Fall 2021 is the expansion. When was the date for July 27th? So that's probably the first game I'm excited to play on here that I'll be able to play. That's before my Game Pass $1 subscription runs out. So I will download that. I'm wondering what I'm going to have to do to get like a flight stick on there.
Turn left.
Xbox Game Studios presents. A lot of these are produced by or published by Microsoft, I've noticed. I guess it's kind of their own game presentation, but Microsoft's really doubling down on getting their own exclusives in here. And again, graphics look fantastic. Almost photorealistic. Is this Forza 5? So is this a little Inception where I'm playing the previous version of Forza on top of the new version of Forza? Yep.
In 400 yards.
Bronco, eh? Oh yeah, I remember they said they were bringing the Bronco back. So Mitsubishi in there. I'm not as big of a car person, but most of my family is, so it kind of runs in there. I know a little bit about cars. Has an engine in it, right? You press the gas pedal, it goes. And usually when you run into street signs that don't do that.
In 400 yards.
This looks exciting.
Turn left.
It's kind of funny. What I liked about Nintendo's presentation is actually, I don't know, there were a lot of people who were saying, oh, Nintendo won E3, but I gotta tell you, there's some big ones coming from Microsoft that I really want to get into. This is one of them. Microsoft Flight Simulator is another. Halo Infinite is another. There's some games I'm very interested in that are coming to here, and most of them are coming to Game Pass day one. Yep, there it is. Forza Horizon 5.
You'll do.
November 9th.
Like steel, by the way.
Play it day one with Game Pass. I'm going to have to upgrade my internet connection so I can download all these games. Obviously going to have to put in a... put in the SSD upgrade into my Xbox so I can do that.
Off to Broadway. And step on it, yeah? We don't want to lose the light.
So here we have some gameplay footage. Oh my gosh, that looks fantastic. I'm looking at the reflections off the top of the roof, and those are very realistic. That's got to be ray tracing. But if you're doing this in 4K 60, ray tracing's usually not on. Wow. That looked pretty good. Driving through the Mayan pyramids with modern cars. That's like a dream come true kind of thing. Notice how, as soon as I realized that damage doesn't matter, how destructive I am with the cars. Driving a Bugatti. People thought Portal 3 was going to be this year, but they were tricked. Oh, yeah. I hate to say it, but I will never believe it. If there was a box that came out that said Portal 3 is in this box, I wouldn't believe it. I would have to play all the way through and beat Portal 3 before I'd believe that it actually came out. It's just not going to happen.
Remember to breathe, kid.
It's the same reason why Half-Life
Don't let
3
it
is
get
never going to
away from
happen.
you. I'll talk you through it. You'll be fine.
I'll say this, I have very little hope that it will. And if it is released, it probably won't be, not to shoot it down at all. Not to shoot it down, or I'm not trying to demean anyone here. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure it's not going to get released. Because I don't even think that's a goal of theirs to work on it. Unless, like I said, some other game studio comes in and as a passion project and really wants to make it for them, I don't think they're going to... I mean, Valve's got a lid on it. They're not going to let that out. So that's interesting. We're getting Forza Horizon 5 footage next to Forza Horizon 4. And I gotta tell you, this game looks... I didn't think I'd be able to tell as big of a difference in the graphics as I do, but I do. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I can tell a difference with the naked eye. That's something I talk about this whole generation. Because even though this is being run and upscaled on the Xbox Series X, but it's the Xbox One version, basically enhanced. Gosh, the amount of care and detail that has to go into this to make these look... I mean, somebody sat there and designed each one of these rocks that you're cruising by. You only see it for a fraction of a second. Only takes up a tiny amount of pixels on your screen. But somebody probably spent a month and a half designing that rock. I mean, that's just the age that we live in, where we take all of these hours of work for granted. Nice. I'm a movie star now with my Bugatti. Do I get to keep the car? Or if I drive it well enough, will they ship one to my house?
Hey, Player One. There's a lot of rumors flying around that
They're going through this pretty well here. The HDR camera, yep, we capture 24-hour shoots. Oh, okay. Okay, hang on a second. I'm hearing some cheating here.
He's looking for new racers to take part in the dirt racing series.
Yeah, they're talking about the ray tracing in it. But they also talked about how they used... Okay, I see some texture popping in the background, actually. Now that I'm paying more attention to it. I see some texture pop-ins there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and switch the game that I am streaming. We're just finished with Forza Horizon 4. Let's go ahead and put in another racing game that I actually really liked. I was very surprised how much I liked it. This one's going to be Dirt 5. Very surprised about this game because I hadn't played this series at all. And I didn't know this either. Apparently, Codemasters was bought out by another studio, either EA or Activision. I can't remember who bought them. But I had no idea that they were even up for sale, kind of thing. Let me turn off the Forza Horizon 4 box art. Let's put in the Dirt 5. You're hitting pinatas. I'm hoping... I think I heard this was day one on Game Pass, but definitely going to have to try this game out. Diablo. That's another one I'm excited to see come out. They just went through a lot of games. Oh yeah, but this is the biggest reveal that I was kind of excited about. So we actually get to see... I think I played this yesterday too. This is kind of like a joke at the end of their conference. Everyone had... I don't know. I'm probably going to ask for this for Christmas, but maybe I'll do a GoFundMe. Help buy Tyler's Xbox mini fridge. I gotta have that for down here. I can have this sitting right back there. Instead of those boxes, I can mount it to the wall. There's an outlet behind there. Then I can keep my beverages cool down here. The Xbox mini fridge, Xbox and chill. Holiday 21. They're gonna make so much money with that, it's not even funny. Because people like me will buy stupid stuff like that. Alright, let's check out the game I'm actually playing here. Again, so Dirt 5 is actually not an upscaled version of an Xbox One game. This is an Xbox Series game, even though it says Xbox One on the cover art. Was this an Xbox One game? I think it came out for both, because it came out on the PlayStation 5 as well. So this game should have been built specifically for the new Xboxes. Maybe that's what I'll have to start saying. I don't know what to call it. Xbox Series does not roll off the tongue, so maybe that's something. But I will say I do appreciate the graphics in this game a bit more as well. License plate always seems in focus. This one says Dirt 5 instead of Player 1, though. I don't know if I can change the license plate in this game or not. What'd you guys think of the Xbox E3 presentation? Seen any games in there you guys want to play, or is there anything that you guys want me to play if I can on stream? Some of the picks I had included Microsoft Flight Simulator, Halo. I can't remember them all now. Let's see this list of games. List of games in Xbox 3 2021. Elden Ring was one. I think I. This one has Zelda Breath of the Wild too, so maybe they're combining in the list in this one. Those are just exclusive games. Every game announced at E3 21. Xbox Game Pass. Did I win that one, or is that the one where I made the mistake? Let me rewind that here. Yep, that's the one where I made the mistake right at the end. Took off the front of my car and the hood, and then I ended up getting 9th. So of course I'll have to recomplete that race. Alright, let's see here. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Obviously that's one I'd like to play. Starfield, Contraband. We have Halo Infinite. 80s. Let me get this list over here. This is from Polygon. And there we go.
Hey there. If you're listening to this message, then congratulations. Now listen, I know you just want to get up there and wreck some tires.
There's I got Yakuza Like a Dragon, Back 4 Blood, Starfield, Contraband, Stalker 2, Somerville, which looked interesting to me. Hades, I've heard a lot of people talk about, but I haven't played it all, don't know what it is. That Party Animals one seems interesting. I never played Psychonauts, but I guess if it's free, I would try it. Shredders is that snowboarding one. I'd like to see more. Oh, what am I trying to think of? I'd like to see more games with
corners and split routes to help break up the pack. Rally Raid is as dirt as it gets.
I was trying to think of like this, like the SSX, like that. So definitely kind of interested to see what Shredders has for that. Atomic Heart looked generic. Let's see here what I got. Age of Empires 4, which I don't know why this is on the list because it's not an Xbox game. That's part of the confusing part of it. And, forgive me for nitpicking, but either it's a game for PC or it's a game for console. Don't pretend like it's both when it doesn't play on both. Oh, but you can get it to play on the other one. Sorry, that's nitpicking, but this is something because I got all hyped up for Age of Empires 4, and then because I don't have a Windows 10 PC, especially with a good graphics card, I'm not going to be able to play that one. Microsoft Flight Simulator looked very good. Of course, Forza Horizon 5. That can be deleted. Dungeons & Dragons Dark Alliance looks interesting. I had seen the gameplay for that before. And that's pretty much it. So any of these games on here you guys think I should give a chance that I haven't specifically mentioned? Gotti Jr., welcome to the stream. How we doing? We are looking at the list of games that were announced because we just got done looking at the E3 conference that Microsoft put out earlier this week. Now that we've had a chance to take a look at it. I need to get rid of the E3 footage button, and I'm going to get rid of the display capture there. And all while we're playing some Xbox Series X games. This is game footage that I've already captured over the last couple weeks. I actually am putting together a little video about me getting the Xbox Series X, getting it set up, and this is one of the games I plan on showing in there, so I had to capture some footage from it. This one was kind of a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. But how's your night going, Gotti Jr.? I know Mr. Tamiya is also in the stream, and Augustus Price from yesterday is also in the stream with his Dark Side of the Moon reference picture. Every time I see your picture, Gotti Jr., I always want to say, hey, hey, what's going on? And now that song's stuck on my head. And though I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just to get it all off what is in my head, and I feel a little peculiar. I've heard that song way too many times. Alright, let's see what's happening in the world of gaming news as well. So E3 is over. Haven't heard a word from PlayStation since that whole Ratchet and Clank announcement thing they did in their last State of Play. I think that was a State of Play. Oh, my eye is twitching. I like how, too, flames shoot out of the exhaust every time you shift in this game. Of course, I touched my eye and now it's doing it. Hepwo, welcome to the stream. Hepwo 91222. Good evening, I like the Xbox E3. Too bad many of the games... Alright. Many of the games I really want are... multiplayer way out in the future. Yes, that was one of the comments I made during it too. We just got done watching through the video live on stream while I was playing some games. And that's one thing I did mention is that is a shame. Most of the games are 2022 release dates. Microsoft Flight Simulator is the closest one that's going to come out. Is that one that you want to play, or is that something that's something that does not interest you? I've always liked Microsoft Flight Simulator games. So, and I think my dad liked it too, so that led to me liking it, but you know, it's funny. This is the box art that I see for Yakuza 6 calls it a PS4 console exclusive game. Isn't that kind of funny how they're exclusive for a little while and then the box art becomes outdated by the time it gets released on another console? But anyway, yes, I want to know if Sega is thinking of joining Game Pass and what that would mean for the rest of the industry. Would people jump ship from Nintendo and PlayStation if Sega signed on and said Sonic is exclusive to Xbox now? And you can get it on Game Pass. Definitely check out Flight Simulator. Besides that, everything else I was interested in has come out for a long time. Although maybe Halo Infinite late this year, fingers crossed. Yeah, I already said too, my whole thing is, I don't know. I know that's their intention, but if they... I just hope they don't force them to make that release date. There's two things I hope doesn't happen. I hope they don't release it before it's ready. I have a sneaking suspicion that's what they're going to do. Because now, like, it not launching with the console was not a big deal for them. But now they're hyping it up. It's the 20th anniversary of Xbox and Halo. And they really want to make that date because it looks good for marketing. 20 years, nice round number. But what about 21 years? I mean, 21's a significant number, I guess. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen where they force them to do that. I also hope that the game is ready to go by the end of fall, and it's not just a, hey, due to marketing, we want to make this date. So there's two things I hope. I hope they don't release it before it's ready, but I also hope they have the good sense to, if it's not ready, to push it back further, which I have the feeling is going to happen. Everything else has been delayed so many times. And again, with everything that happened last year, it's just... License date back to Star Raiders on the Atari 8-bit computer line. You know, Augustus, the only place, I don't want to say the only place, but I've actually played Star Raiders using the number pad that they released. I think that's what it's for the Atari 2600. That's the only way I've ever played Star Raiders. Isn't that nuts? I don't want to say the only way I've played it, but it was the first way I've played it, and I don't have an Atari computer. So yes, I've emulated it for the Atari computer line, and it's so much better on the Atari 8-bit computer than it is on the 2600. It's just no question. Metroid Dread was something you really want, and that is this October. Well, okay, so if we're talking about all the other places, we're talking about Nintendo's E3 as well, if we want to compare the two. Let's see if we can get this going here. Let's see what happens. This site usually likes to add a whole bunch of ads on everything, and it did. So yes, Metroid Dread does look interesting. I don't know, though, if I'm going to get that when it launches. I might have to wait till Nintendo finally decides to discount that thing. I mean, it's just one of those things where I rarely, if ever, have paid $60 for a game. So it has to be a game I really like. Ratchet & Clank was an exception because that's a game I really was hardcore wanting in. Metroid Dread looks good, but it's just not, like I said, it's just not one of those games that I'm overly hyped for to get. Of course, I want to play it. I really do. It's been a long time since I played a 2D Metroid. I never played any of the ones for 3DS or DS or the handheld ones. The only handheld Metroid I remember playing is Metroid 2 for the Game Boy. So obviously that's something that I was into back in the day. I played Metroid, Metroid 2, and Super Metroid. That is it. I have played Metroid Prime. I don't think I ever beat any of the Metroid Prime games, but those are the only ones I've ever played. I've never played any of the Game Boy Advance, 3DS ones, whatever. I think I saw somewhere Xbox E3, 27 out of 30 games they showed are on Game Pass day one. Yes, I was noticing that. And that's another thing too, like the Microsoft Flight Simulator is on Game Pass day one, and then they're going to have the Top Gun Mavericks expansion pack launch when they release the movie, pretty much. So yeah, that is really impressive. And that's where I said too, I noticed a lot of those were being published by Microsoft though. So, I mean, I should look up the list and see how many game studios, or what the actual game studios are that Microsoft owns.
I hope you got some sick coilovers because this.
Apparently they're hiring if you guys want to get hired on there.
James, I gotta go. I left my sick coilovers at home. Nolan, you're gonna need
Xbox Game Studios is defunct, it says. Has it been rebranded?
Dirt or snow, anything goes.
Or just 2019 as Xbox Game Studios. Oh, sorry.
Thanks, Buttercup. Weren't you supposed to be gone already?
Let's see here. Here are all their subsidiaries. 343, which obviously helps them out with, I think, isn't Halo doing that? Yeah. They help out with Halo multiplayer and all that stuff. So yeah, 343 for Halo. Then they have, look at the ones I recommend. Oh, Mojang Studios? Really? I'm kind of surprised. They did like arcade games. And yep, oh yeah, they did Minecraft. Sorry, I confused them with somebody else. So yeah, I remember when they acquired them, they're not going to release anything new. Rare, obviously, is another one. But then that's it. Playground Games for Forza Horizon. Obsidian, forgot they owned them. They had the Outer Worlds. I didn't know they did the Stick of Truth, which is why that one's on Game Pass, but not the Fractured But Whole. Yeah, Ubisoft did that one. They published the first one, but Obsidian really did the Stick of Truth. Sorry, I was going off on the whole rant there. Game Pass has the Ori games. It's like Microsoft's answer to the old school Metroid. Pretty good games, especially Ori 2. That's right, I remember you mentioning that, and I haven't downloaded any of the Ori games yet. Yet is the key word. Just haven't gotten to it yet. There's a whole bunch of games on there, and I'm playing through a few of them. I'm actually trying to go through the Series X and S games first. And so far, the games I've played, that I've shown here, I've liked them all. Halo, the Master Chief Collection. I gotta play Halo 2 and 4, because I haven't played through those apparently yet. And I played through Forza Horizon 4. I played through some of that, and now I'm playing Dirt 5 here. So, just trying to get my racing fix in there. Speaking of racing games, did anybody else get excited when they saw Cruisin' Blast for Nintendo's E3? I was especially excited to see that game just because I love the Cruisin' series. I love that style of arcade racer. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, that is like an instant taking me back to my childhood, kind of a cartoony style racer. So I'm definitely excited to see something like that. I would like to see, I mean, Hydro Thunder, I think, was available on Xbox 360 Arcade back in the day. I'd like to see that be one that's backwards compatible on here, or maybe they do a new version of that. Play one Ori game, make it Ori 2. Also Ori 1, play the definitive edition as it improves the quality of life themes that were tedious in the original Ori 1. Okay, that's good advice. I've actually found that with a lot of older games where you play the newer ones first because they're going to be the better experience, and if you like them, then you're going to be able to tolerate the original ones better. Sat in this chair for almost 6 hours yesterday doing a stream, and now it's getting to that point where it's uncomfortable for me to keep sitting here. Hey, Jeffrey Maschek, welcome to the stream. How's your night going, man? You've played the full motion video racers? Ha! Oh, yeah, there was one for the... I'm thinking of one specifically for Sega CD. Oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it's awful. Funny you mentioned full motion video racers. Ah, and that's something. So I'm streaming some games that I've already played on the Xbox Series X. I captured some footage because I'm gonna get a video together for, because I got an Xbox Series X and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and do an indie title here. Here's one I found kind of interesting. I wasn't quite sure if this is one that I was going to enjoy or not. All I knew is that it was an RPG before I started it. Fantastic. Just got Fantasy Zone for TurboGrafx. Interesting. Yes, that is one I have, but I may have it for the PC Engine. Got it for the way better than the NES version? Yes, it is. The NES version is actually, I think, the worst version of that game. The Master System version's very good on that one. The TurboGrafx version I played is also very good with it. What else am I thinking of? What else has that game been released on? I want to say... I don't know if I played it on the Genesis. Definitely not 32X. I know they did a lot of ports of their arcade games. Maybe I played the TurboGrafx version on another console. Like the Nintendo Virtual Console. Could be something like that. It is a good game, though. Nice little cute 'em up, isn't it? Arizonk is awesome, too. Yeah, which version? Is that the CD version or the card version? Because I remember somebody saying that they liked the CD, that they liked one but not the other. Can't remember if it was the CD or the card. Could have been you. To be quite honest, I actually don't remember. So, if you guys aren't aware of what you're seeing here, I am completely with you. I have no idea what the beginning of this game is. The card version's better? Okay. Arizonk Q card is the best key 'em up you ever played. Arizonk CD was terrible. See, that's... Okay, Heppo was mentioning that too, I think. The fact that I remembered that it was mentioned to me at one point in time is actually pretty good. I don't know why, my memory has never been that good. So the game I'm playing is called Haven. And it's an RPG, and that's all I knew about it going into it. But I'll tell you this opening scene here at the title screen did not leave me with much hope. I was like, uh-oh, this looks like a teen drama RPG. It's not usually my favorite genre. So I'm definitely gonna play through this though, and I'm gonna point out some of the things I like about it, and some of the things I was like, huh, that's interesting. So I don't know if I just went to new game or not. Haven is not a challenging game. I recommend starting with the default difficulty level. However, if you feel like you would like to enjoy it more by making it easier, the difficulty options are, you know, I don't know what to expect, so I did reduced. Because I'm like, I just want to get through it. This doesn't look like a game I want to sink a lot of time into. That's all I'm going to say. Haven't tried this on Game Pass yet? Well, good. We're going to see it here. Jet Screamer, welcome to the stream. Haven is cute. That's actually a very good way to say it. That's kind of a nice way of me doing it. So let me turn the volume up here a little bit so you guys can hear what's going on. It's going to be very soft no matter what, but... It's weird how they can store so much info on such small cards. Absolutely, Augustus.
Didn't we have that yesterday? Or the day before?
No. Yesterday, it was baked apple dew with apple dews. And the day before, it was fried apple dews.
With apple dews. I remember now.
Sorry, I'm doing what I can to switch up our meals. But in my defense, we have a pretty limited set of ingredients.
Yeah, right now I'm thinking this is teenage soap opera.
Hey, I wasn't complaining. I'm glad that you're doing the cooking. Otherwise,
Turn
I'd
that down a
be
little bit
eating,
as I'm going to talk over it again. It was a tad too young for me, but it looked great and the voice acting was well done. I kind of agreed with that too, as you can kind of hear as they're going through.
Yeah.
But yes,
It does seem like it
I
takes
think this
damage upon
game's target
landing.
audience are...
I should be able to fix that
I don't know.
quick.
What do you think, male or female? Do you think they aim for both? Because I feel like you play both characters.
Awesome.
I guess you can choose which one you do later on. But I felt like it's for the age group between 13 and 15. Basically before people had their first boyfriend or girlfriend. That's what I thought this game's audience was. Do I sound right with that, or am I completely off?
Oh, with the lights off? Works for me.
No. I didn't do that. We must have run out of flow.
Weren't you supposed to...
I mean, in a
try
way,
out
it sounds
the
like a
nest
good
today?
pandemic game. You kind of
Excuse
feel
me
like,
if I
oh,
was
I can have
working
a
on the
relationship with
engine.
someone
I can't
in
do
a video
everything.
game.
No worries.
I was trying to think of
I'll
who
go
the
get some
target
more
audience
outside.
is for that.
If I'm lucky, I'll stumble upon something to spice up the apple dews.
I'll come with you.
I noticed there wasn't a lot of reaction to Battlefield 2042. It's just kind of one of those ones that's there, but the release date for that's supposed to be October 22nd. And I did see a lot of these are still coming out for PS4 as well as Xbox One. Or at least PS4 for sure. Xbox, you just have no idea with that. TV doesn't want to play YouTube. Interesting. What do you use to do that? Are you using like Apple TV? Because I've heard some people who had those had an issue with that. This is where the game kind of got better for me. The gameplay mechanics, like you float around, that was an interesting concept to me. So I'm like, alright, maybe I'm not as interested in the story, but if the gameplay is interesting, I can get used to it.
Over there, a flow thread.
But then again, it is kind of a, like I said, it's just kind of an interesting, like, yeah, and I had no idea what that meant by flow threads, so you're gonna see me kind of struggle to figure out what the heck she was talking about here for a second. I thought maybe she was talking about the water here, but that's not what she was talking about. That's what she was talking about, and that's, okay. Like, alright, this is something. I don't know how I figured out that you can follow this thing.
Perfect.
Although it seems like one
And
thread
apparently
won't
if
be
you
enough.
follow it through to its end,
No
you start
worries,
collecting
we'll
it.
find others. How many more do you think we need?
On Roku? Okay.
3? Maybe 4?
That's interesting. So, I guess I have little to no experience with Roku, other than the ones that are actually built into TV. Is yours built in? Peplo says, this is not what I was expecting, not bad. Like, that's what I said, it's more action-oriented. Now, I will say this, I have yet to run into a battle. It's more exploration and collecting stuff, as far as I got. So that's what I said. This part of the gameplay is actually not bad, but the story is, I don't want to say 100% uninteresting to me, but I'll say the relationship story is not that interesting to me. So here I am trying to learn how to drift, which is a concept I never had to use afterwards. I never had to use the drifting concept later on that they teach you here, so I even forgot that was even possible.
Well,
maybe something more like Journey in its gameplay. Okay.
No biggie. Plenty of threads out there.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played Journey, but yeah, I guess that's kind of a way to say it. So here I'm just trying to figure out the controls. It is hard to control the characters when they're gliding, but here I am trying to practice collecting these, I guess.
Alright, I'm all charged up.
Me too.
Nope, we had to charge up both characters. Both your sets have Roku. Yeah, like I said, I don't have almost any experience with Rokus to be able to tell you if it's supposed to be like that or not.
Apple juice again.
My TV has is Vizio, so it's got the Vizio Cast app built into it. Or at least the TV that's a smart TV. I only have one smart TV. The rest of them, I guess, are dumb TVs. Love that game on Journey. Oh yeah, it's been a while since I played it. I think I'll have to go back and play it because, like I said, it's running together with some other games I've played in the past. And then here you're going to see me go around collecting other stuff, even though I'm not supposed to, because I actually forgot where the ship was. I got turned around and had no idea where I was supposed to go. Hey, Christopher Lawrence, welcome to the stream.
It's a pretty one.
You're catching me on. I don't plan on streaming for much longer, but we already watched the Xbox E3 presentation while I played some Halo Master Chief Collection. And then I played Forza Horizon 4 and Dirt 5. And now we're playing an indie game from Game Pass called Haven. It's an RPG type game that it's an interesting. The gameplay I find interesting, but the story I'm not as into. I like that game, Abuzu. Yeah, like I said, I cannot remember. To be Abuzu, I don't know how to pronounce that. So here I am trying to find a map because I want an indicator to tell me where I'm supposed to go. If I had any criticism, any critical feedback, that'd be great. But I hope I recognize there's my ship on the top of this mountain. Apparently that's where I'm supposed to go. This whole time I'm also collecting these apple dew things. Which, I mean, if you're just going to call it an apple with a word on the end of it, why not just call it an apple? And there's some parts of the mountain you can go up right and some you can't. So anyway, we collected these flow things. I gotta figure out how to get back into my ship. You had one of Vizio's first 4K TVs, paid $700. I hated it. Gave it away. Got a Panasonic Plasma. 2 years ago, your current TV, which you really like. Okay.
All good. This should last us a few days.
Now it's our turn to fill up.
Huh?
I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, and just like any other true Japanese or JRPG style game, for some reason they like adding in cooking. I noticed this in Final Fantasy 15 as well. Cooking was kind of like a key thing that you had to do. They like cooking and fishing. They really like adding into the games. Which are two things I would rather be doing in real life and not in a video game. Again, just me maybe. Now I didn't know if I was supposed to eat this now or cook enough for both of us. So I cooked more. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be concerned that we don't have enough food, right? The Vizio TV I have is not one of the first ones. They were just they were very well rated, so I got a Vizio TV. But I have to tell you, I have not been impressed with this. I've had the TV for about 5 years now, and unless something drastically changes, I'll probably have it for 5 more.
Apple dews.
I'm
I
trying
can't
to see if
tell
I can
you're
find like a
actually
gaming
excited
monitor
about
that can do
this,
4K
or if you
120,
just
but
enjoy seeing me
everything is
suffer.
very expensive when you go to 4K 120. And I don't know, I have very little interest in going to 8K. Like, I know the Xbox is capable, but I don't know how many games are going to take advantage of that.
Last?
The flow? Well, if we keep our consumption
Could do without the
check,
cooking, but the
I think a few
exploration aspect
days.
has potential. That's
No,
kind of what I was thinking too. So of course we got to get through some more of the story here.
Do we have to talk about this?
Kay feels more
We are going
confident.
to need to at some point. We need to be prepared.
I'm sure these choose your own adventure moments will have a purpose eventually, but I haven't found what they are yet.
The apiary. Is that okay?
Okay. Okay.
Doom Eternal is going to 120 4K on the Series X. Well, that's right, 4K 120.
And FYI,
but what about
you are the
8K?
one that ruined the mood, not me.
I mean, they advertise on the box it can go to 8K, but I don't know any games that specifically are 8K on there. Jet Screamer says, I'm not in a hurry for a 4K 120. The games aren't there yet. Yeah, I kind of agree. And it's not like they're going to look bad on a 4K 120. And I have to think back when I got a HD TV. I'm sorry, before I got an HD TV, I used to play my PS3 on a CRT. Yes, it could do better when plugged into an HD display. But for the first year and a half, I played that PS3 on a CRT for the most part. So, I guess it all depends on what you want out of your gaming experience. And there's absolutely no possible way that I can capture 4K 60 gameplay footage at this time, and definitely not 4K 20 or 8K.
I was just going to ask if you could switch off the light.
So,
you
can do 1080p 120, no HDR.
Of course,
Okay.
I've been mulling it over this whole time.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think my
for
TV does
adding
anything
one
higher
more
than
thing to
60
my
hertz on
mind.
any resolution.
Hold on. Are you telling me
Just a
hadn't thought about
limitation
it
of the
before?
TV, but I've never
You know
I've
what?
never even tried to look
No,
for anything
I
faster.
hadn't thought about it. I'm trying not to think about the apiary. Enjoy what we have here, even if it isn't much. Do you really think that they can come get us here?
If we could take the flow.
So this is where the story comes, and apparently we are fugitives that escaped this tyrannical organization, which is something that's stereotypical for a RPG kind of story. So that started getting a little bit interesting to me from that standpoint. Okay, we're fugitives, and you're kind of learning about these characters through expositional dialogue.
At worst, I kill them.
Whoa, you.
What? If that's what it takes not to go back, I'll do it. No problem. Kill them, steal their ship. By the time they send more guys, we'll be far away.
You're seriously not considering...
Maybe not.
She has a
Maybe I
dark
am.
side.
At worst, we'll know.
You're scaring me.
Oh, come on.
My friend Adushi had a 30...
safe.
Hey, there it
You're
is.
my
Yep,
teddy
we had a
bear.
36-inch TV. It was not progressive
sure how I
scan,
should
though.
take this.
It was the old school
take me in your
bulb
arms for a
tube that
start.
kind of jutted out. It was not a flat screen. And it did. It looked great. That's how I played Resistance Fall of Man. Seeing it in HD when I streamed it a while back was actually kind of, on a flat panel screen, was actually kind of interesting. Like, oh, this is not how I remember this game looking. By 2128 TV... I'm assuming you mean 2028? TVs are going to be insane.
I put on my pajamas.
I mean, to get out.
Or do you actually mean
See, I was
107
just
years into the
wondering,
future?
Do we have to get out? Can't we just hang in the nest for once?
I've seen, like, we're not that
Lounge, read a
far
book,
away.
Watch a movie.
We're not that far away from where those,
Right, sure. But
have you guys seen the phones that can actually be folded over? That screen technology, was that a typo? Okay. I was hoping so. I was like, yeah, I agree. In the next 107 years, when the Cubs win the World Series again, TVs will be insane.
always great.
No offense to Cubs fans.
Who knows? Tomorrow could be the beginning of
But,
long winter months. Could last
now
for
I
years.
lost my train of thought.
One more reason to stock up on apple dews.
You know, always being right is not
Yeah, but anyway, the
necessarily a
folding, there we go. The folding screens that they have right now have a type of screen inside of them that can be rolled up like a poster. And what they're talking about, as soon as that technology becomes cheap enough, we should be able to use TVs like wallpaper and make whatever's, basically the TV is going to be the wall. I don't know if that's by 2020, by 2028, but that's apparently where we're heading. I mean, to me, 1080-60 is fine. Yeah, I agree. It looks great. And in fact, that is something that most games in last generation still were not meeting. Even with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, 1080-60 was not always it. Sometimes they were 960 or 980, whatever that weird resolution is. Yes, like the Running Man. Yeah, let me pull up that TV chart here. See if I can find it. It's not a chart, but I remember you saying the word chart. TV rolled up like.
Make sure they don't get squished.
This one says like a scroll. Yes, here it is. Basically, they're just waiting on the technology to get cheaper.
Is it me or is the ground shaking?
So this is from Google Images, so my apologies if this is something that I need to get further rights for. It looks like it's not copyrighted. I usually search for that, but never be too careful. Here's what they got. And let me put this behind. So there you go, this LG roll-up TV technology. It literally is. It looks like a transparency, if you guys remember those back in the day. This is apparently where TVs are heading quite soon. Oh no, my ship is being destroyed as I'm talking about TVs that can roll up. And this is what they're expecting TVs to be like eventually. And these can be added, these can be linked together and put on a wall, basically like video walls or whatever.
Seems like it.
And yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Anything broken?
No, I don't think so.
I know this is specifically LG, but I don't know who exactly came up with this, so. Yeah, like Running Man. So if I have a direct lit 55-inch, it's awesome. Gotcha.
Well,
like TVs that can connect to the camera outside of your house and act as a window. Oh yeah, well, just like Back to the Future, right?
Try and find a way to get to the other side.
You're tuned in to the Scenery Channel.
I don't know. A rope, jetpack, spring-loaded shoes, anything.
Broadcast beautiful vistas 24 hours a day.
And if we don't find it?
Why is it things like that get stuck in my head, but I can't remember what I ate yesterday for lunch?
We'll have to find something.
I guess I didn't see what I ate yesterday for lunch 200 times. Like I have Back to the Future. Part 2. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so if you guys wanted to look at that stuff, it is literally, it's like roll-up TVs, and that's what the foldable technology is based off of. But if you've seen that, the foldable phones are like $1,500. They're expensive. They're in between $1,000 and $1,500. It is insane how expensive those are. Chromecast and Apple TV, yeah. Oh my gosh. I will say the wireless technology for video has improved a lot in the last 10 years. I still don't think we're there yet to where it's going to be 100% there.
Like a flow bridge. Kind of like the one we took to get here.
So anyway, this is Haven. If you guys want to try this out, again, it's more of an exploration, collecting / choose your own adventure of a story. Now, after a while, I started clicking choices that didn't get me any bonus points on there.
But if the phenomenon can happen on a
it's my favorite Back to the Future 1, 2, or 3. You know, out of controversy, I don't know if it's out of controversy or not, but I always used to say...
Okay.
Gosh, that's interesting. I mean, you can't beat the first one. The first one is good. I'm not going to lie. But actually, the one I've probably watched the most often is number 3.
This one definitely leads
So I'll say 1 is my favorite, but I think the one I've watched the most often is part 3. Just because I really like the concept of going back to the Old West in a time machine and the whole train thing. I'm like, I don't know. It was completely different from the other movies. I really liked the story of the third one. I know a lot of people didn't. But the first one's my favorite. The third one I've seen most often. And you would think I like the second one because they show the future. The problem is when they rehash the first one at the end, that's where I thought it got boring. I really liked the Biff Tannen takes over. I thought they could have done more with that. But, I mean, what can you do? It's part of the whole series now, so... It's kind of funny. It starts off good, the second one's mediocre, and the third one I think is good. But... obviously, a lot of people didn't.
The bridge seems to be a link between the islands.
It's like Sony to reintroduce the Xperia play.
We may be able to get back to the nest.
Great Scott! I also like, too, how many people used to say, 2 got tedious? Yeah, because you have to think, okay, And they do spend a long time explaining the future me that prevents the future you from getting to the past you and like all that stuff. I'm like, yeah. And of course, they do the whole thing about explaining the alternate timeline because they have to make sure the audience knows what's going on. A lot of exposition to explain what's going on rather than things actually happening in that movie. Like I said, the beginning is great, great hook. I like the future part. I like the alternate 1985, but then they go back to 1955, which basically is stuff we already saw before.
A big ugly
And of course, they really liked that. They got all of their money out of the footage of the DeLorean disappearing in the first one, right?
Ah, is that good news? Like, can we eat it?
So, anyway.
Not at all. Unless
So there's some exploration to this. I'm not going to show the whole thing. This is just Haven. I thought was interesting. I'm going to go ahead and move on to a different game here. Another indie title,
as far as what the lizard is
which is called The Falconeer. And no, that is not me trying to curse on stream. That's the name of the game. This is another game that I didn't play as long, but it's more action-oriented. What was the thing where it said weird? Like weird games or something like that? Because I agree. This is just another one. I started downloading games kind of in alphabetical order. If they said they were compatible, or if they said they were Series X or S style games, those are the ones I started playing first out of Game Pass. And this one is kind of strange. I will say I'm not quite sure I would go back to this game. Right now it's just taking up space on my Xbox's internal SSD drive. Why is this not saving? I will say it's definitely got a Japanese vibe to it because it reminds me of like... Whoa, that is a huge picture of the Falconeer. I think it's censored if I keep saying that. Did I say it? So the Falconeer? Is that what should I say? That doesn't sound any better. Huge image. Here.
When we were young in this place,
Ow, my Falconeer.
Messengers and guardians.
Sorry.
They carried memories and spirits to the
Well, I'd expect that.
Now those origins are lost and their lives and memories are lost about.
I say to people, let me give you a nickel's worth of free advice. What about a screen? What about a screen door on a battleship?
Let us find out what stories
Or, hey, time to change that oil. See, it's an instantly quotable movie. Why don't you make like a tree and get out of here? You know what the funny thing is? I saw it as a kid, had no idea what the joke was with that.
is the imperial seat, the highest attainable seat in the empire.
Thankfully, they explained that joke in part 2. Because all the best humor needs explaining, right?
Only those who serve the Empress.
I also like to, one of my favorite parts in Back to the Future Part 2 is, ironically, back when they were in 1955.
Choose now what stories
When they're outside and he goes,
what can be gleaned from these
Doc, come in, Doc. What is it, Marty? I'm outside Biff's house and I don't know if this is the right address. It looks like some old lady lives here and you hear, Biff, where you going, Biff? Just this weird old lady voice just going out like all crazy. I was like, oh, that's perfect. I'm going to the dance, Grandma. Oh, when you coming back? It was probably him doing the voice of his own grandma. They had everybody else play their own relatives. That's got to be his voice, the guy who played Biff. His name is escaping me off the top of my head all of a sudden. Something Wilson. Thomas F. Wilson, does that sound right? He had a stand-up career after, which he does a song called the Back to the Future song, where basically he tries to answer every question he knows the audience is going to ask him after each show. If you guys haven't heard it, look up Biff's Back to the Future song. Pretty funny. So anyway, getting to the Falconeer here. Make sure I enunciate that well. Do you have a safe? Oh, you don't have a safe. Get a safe. Get it locked up. Hey, how do you know how to do that? No one can start this car but me. I'm not doing a very good impression of him. What are you looking at, butthead? Now that's an impression of him. Yeah, I'm a bit curious about this game. You can also get to play as a shark. Okay, now that must be the submarine warfare, but basically, so you play as this bird, and it took me a while to figure out the controls, so that's what I'm doing right now. This is kind of the tutorial level. You're playing a bird that can basically charge up a weapon on his back, and you can shoot out missiles, and basically this is a flight combat game where instead of being an airplane, you're a bird. And then I'm sure there's a submarine part of it where instead of playing a submarine, you're a shark. So this is basically what this game is. And as I said, it's got a big, like, Asian Japanese influence on it. I kind of got vibes from like the Battle of Midway and like some other naval warfare from out there. So yeah, I'm a bit curious about this game. Maneater, yes, that's it. Thanks. Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you're talking about. So that's not part of this game. I missed the word also. That game is interesting. Is Maneater on Game Pass? I'm sure somebody knows. Doc, you're telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? I thought, why not do it with some... See, I can't do the voices at all. I can't do Doc at all, or Marty. But I can quote it. Is on Game Pass. Okay, so I'll have to look at Maneater next. The submarine warfare companion of this game, right? So yeah, I'm dive bombing some targets here. So... And then I started going in circles just to test out the frame rate. I don't know what this looks like on stream, but the frame rate looks like it's going at 60 frames a second. What I'm really testing for in that instance is if it's a 30 frames per second game. Is it 4K 30? Like, are they cheating in that respect? Or is it actually 4K 60? And of course, I'm capturing at 1080 and broadcasting it in 720. This is a lot more of the game than I plan on sharing in the video. I'm supposed to be going somewhere. Lock the target. Travel to the waypoint. Yes. Why is everything so heavy? Is there something wrong with the Earth's gravitational pull? I sound more like... I'm assuming that's Morty? Or is Rick the guy that plays Dr. Emmett Brown on that show? I actually have no interest and think that Rick and Morty looks like one of the dumbest things ever. I'm probably ticking off some people in the chat, but I don't get it. I like the fact that they try to do something like Doc and Marty, but unfortunately my impression of Doc sounds more like that guy from Rick and Morty than it does anything else. And the only reason why I've seen anything of it is because all the kids are making memes out of that show. Wait, Doc, you're telling me my mom has got the hots for me? Maneater, I've already downloaded it, but haven't played it yet. Okay, let me know how it is then, because I won't download it until I hear from you. How about that? And as soon as I said, how about that, I thought, cash me outside, how about that? Speaking of memes. That's Rick. Rick and Morty is great if you're into things like family dynamics. It's also pretty intelligent stuff there with Community. Well, it's, like I said, there's certain things on there where I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. But you might not like my opinion of The Office either. If you guys are like huge Office fans, sorry you didn't ask for my opinion, but you're going to get it. I like parts of The Office. The Office is a great show to get clips from. But that's it. Watching a full episode is never worth it to me. I watched the first 3 seasons of that show, and after everyone said, "Oh, the first season's terrible," but as soon as you get through it, it starts getting better. I got through 3 seasons. Does it start getting better after the 3rd season? Kind of wasn't getting there with me. But I will say this: some of the stuff that happens in that show freaking hilarious. Times where I actually laughed out loud at the screen, which doesn't happen often with TV comedies. But I mean, it's just not, overall, not a great show. There's somebody where where you can tell great jokes, but the show overall is not very good. Now, on the other hand, I love Parks and Rec, and Parks and Rec is almost the same exact show. I realize that, but I like it better. I don't know if I like the characters better as well. I'll say that. There's actually characters I like. Like, I love Ron Swanson. Even Leslie Knope in that show. Great show, like, great characters. The problem is I hate the characters in The Office. I love Steve Carell as an actor. Hated that character. Just can't stand him. So full of himself. I'm like, and I know that's part of the joke, but I can't laugh at that. And the same thing with the, oh, I can't think of his real name now. He got buff and started starring in action movies, that guy, John Krasinski. His character I didn't like either, because he's like, oh, I hate this place, but I'm secretly in love with it kind of thing. I'm like, okay. And the Office drama that everyone got involved with, didn't really care for that. Like I said, so maybe that was it. I liked some of the jokes, but had problems getting into the show because of the characters. I do like Phyllis. Phyllis was my favorite character on The Office. She has this apparently secret life outside of The Office that is much more interesting than she is in The Office. I think that actress is hilarious, too. I've been playing the Doom games on Game Pass, getting achievements here and there. Oh, yeah? I've been getting achievements as well on certain games. You know what game I played first on Game Pass? You're never going to guess it. But I'll give you guys an opportunity. If you can guess what the first game I played on Game Pass was, I'll show it to you here before the end. I understand what you're saying about The Office. That's kind of Rick. You're not supposed to like him, even though you do. He's an anti-hero. Yes, exactly. And I've seen that done well. It's just, that's why I said, me personally, just didn't get into it that well. Hey, look, I got an achievement. It's my first day. I failed in my mission. And that's another thing this is one of the reasons why I don't think I like this game as much. I really hate the cliche of there's no way to complete the first mission successfully. The first mission's whole point is for you to fail. Why? Why is that a good motivating factor for your first level in a game?
In order to discover the truth, we must start at the beginning.
I think that is the only level I played in this game.
Heartbeat will grow into 1,000 consequences.
BoJack Horseman gets pretty dark too. I don't think I've ever seen that. Alright, well, you guys didn't guess it. But I do have... No, I don't have footage from it. I have, like, where I launched the game. So I'll show you that, too, before I get off a stream here. The first game I played on Game Pass was this game. See you later, Mr. Chamia. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. So yes, believe it or not, this is the first game I popped in. And of course, I started getting achievements for it. And I do have this on disc, by the way. I just never played it because I have a huge backlog of Xbox games. But Plants vs. Zombies. And I was partially curious to try this out because I have never played this on a console that didn't have a touchscreen. So I was very curious to see how it went. You say my favorite game? I play this game a lot. You could call it one of my favorites. It's just one of those. It's kind of like Tetris to me. Like I can sit on the couch, watch a TV show, and play this game as I'm going through it. So yes. And I was very surprised at how much I like playing it on the controller, but I do like the touch interface better. So I don't know if I'll play through the whole thing. I don't know if I make it through the first level on here, to tell you the truth. Plants vs. Zombies is maybe your favorite mobile game ever, not bad on Xbox. It really isn't. I was just kind of... I don't know what I was expecting, but I do like that the sun actually gets attracted to your cursor. That's nice. If I had to go and individually click on every single sun that came down, that would have been annoying. But I think I played through the first game here. And yes, this is running at 60 frames a second. I'm pretty sure it's 720p being upscaled to 4K. But it looks good. And of course on here I'm showing it in 720p 60. Have you guys played the NES version of this? Yes, it's Plants vs. Zombies on the big screen. If you guys want, I can do a stream. Yep, and here I am. I'm probably going to get out of it. Yep, I don't think I finished this. But this was the very first... Where's my pause button? There it is. This was the very first game I played on Game Pass. Now, if you guys want to know the second game I played on Game Pass, believe it or not, was this one. And you guys saw us downloading Zuma as well, which is another PopCap game. This is part of the EA Play on here. And of course, I want the achievements off of here too. Because this is another game, I haven't played this in ages. I used to play it on my iPad 2 back in the day. And it's another one that I'm used to playing on a touchscreen. So if you guys are interested, I will do a stream where I play start to finish Plants vs. Zombies on the Xbox if you guys want me to. Because that is a game, like I said, I can play through that the whole time. There's certain times I won't be able to talk during the stream, but yes, this is Peggle. And I don't know if this came out on disc. If it did, I will try to get that for the 360. Hopefully there's like a compilation of them. But I don't know why. I really like this game too. I just haven't played it in forever, and I don't know if the original one still works on the iPad. I know I'm still playing the PopCap version on my iPad of Plants vs. Zombies. But yes, even though this is an Xbox 360 game, it's still playing on the Xbox Series X. And yeah, I think I played this a lot longer than I did Plants vs. Zombies, because I like playing that on my iPad, and this is the first time I played this in a while. Did I make it? Oh! The ball just bounced right off the side there. This does not look centered, does it? No, it looks centered. I like how I'm playing as a unicorn. But this is kind of like those old, what pinball machines used to be back in the day, like what do they call those? Plachenko machines. Need for Speed is one of your favorite franchises. EA on Game Pass rocks. Yes, absolutely. I did see. It's not that my favorite Need for Speed games are on there, but some of the Need for Speed games are on there. So eventually, I will have to download those as well. Again, I need to get an upgraded drive for my Xbox, because I only have 200 gigs left, and I feel like I'm going to run out pretty soon if I download any more games. The Falconeer is probably going to get deleted, so that should free up some space. I also have to look and see if I have to get my internet connection upgraded, because we're getting to the point where the data cap now is going to be an issue. I'm only allowed so much data a month because I live in a rural area. And there's no unlimited plan, at least from my only internet provider in the area. Hopefully that's going to change. There's supposed to be. There it is. First achievement unlocked, 5G, Catch the Fever. It's interesting that they kept all of the 360 achievements in here. Hey, Jezbelly, welcome to the stream. Yep, I'm not usually streaming on Wednesdays, but yep, I was streaming because we went through and watched the Xbox E3 presentation, kind of talked about some of the games as I was playing some Series X titles. And now, just to finish up, I'm showing some of the games I also had on Game Pass. You remember playing this game on PC in 2010? That's awesome. I didn't know this game was out on PC. I thought it was more like a mobile phone kind of game. But I guess I can see this game being fun with a mouse. There we go. Lucky bounce. Plus 25,000. Got a free ball. Xbox was awesome. I never had an Xbox. My mom got an Xbox 360 back in the day, but it was more hers, so I never played it. She had games for Kinect. But my first Xbox that I got was actually the Xbox One, and I did a video about it. I got it in 2019. Maybe it was holiday 2018. Back when the Xbox One S's were like I think the one I got was $159, and it came with Minecraft. So, trying to play this with try playing this with a trackball mouse. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that'd probably be better, but I definitely enjoyed playing this more on the, what am I trying to think of? On an iPad, on a touchscreen surface. Because I think I actually played this first on my Android phone back in the day. I know my niece loved this game because it starts out with a unicorn. And of course, just like all young girls, I think they're genetically engineered to love unicorns. Which is why I think that's one of the things that's Despicable Me got correct with that. Oh, look at that. Oh, of course, it bounces right over to the 10,000. Oh, no, I did get 50,000 out of that one. The Xbox conference was great this year. I agree with you. There are a ton of titles I'm excited for. After rewatching the Xbox one, after I saw the Nintendo one, though, a lot of people were saying, oh, Nintendo won E3 this year. I don't know, though. Xbox came to play. I think it's a tie. Other than people get really excited over any Nintendo announcement, I think this is pretty well a tie. I've had every Xbox except for the new one. Can't find it anywhere. Oh yeah, the Series X. Yeah, thankfully I had someone on stream reach out to me saying they could help me get one whenever it was going to be in stock next, and so I had some assistance getting mine. Hopefully you get yours sometime soon. Someone told me there's an app that's supposed to let people know when things are in stock and when you can get them. The problem is, I guess when I work, if it notifies me when I'm at work, I can't just drop work and start buying Xboxes. It's true you loved unicorns and mermaids. Mermaids were good too. I was actually, because I was just at the right age for when The Little Mermaid came out, for a while that was actually one of my favorite Disney movies. I like The Little Mermaid. I'm secure enough in my sexuality to admit that. Oh, got a free ball. 25,000. And of course it hits one of those blue pegs and falls into the hole. Whatever. This is almost like cheating, this power-up is. Was lucky to see the Series X. Lucky to get the Series X. I'm a part of the Xbox All Access through Amazon. Amazon stopped the program, but GameStop picked up their clientele. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if GameStop's thing is big or not. There we go. Extreme Fever. And of course, right over to the 10,000. It's like the ball like gravitates towards that. Oh, and it bounces just enough to go back there. Little Mermaid is an amazing one. The music was so good. Well, yeah. Who didn't jam out to Kiss the Girl? You know what? I don't. That's one of the songs I actually don't know a lot of the words to, except for "Kiss the Girl." Sha la 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 da 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 da. You got to kiss the girl. Wow wow. Yep, I know that song. The one I was thinking of is. I gotta get the right. I gotta think of a part of the song first to sing. I wanna be where the people are. See them something something. Yeah, see, that's why I said I gotta get to the right part of the song. See them dancing, walking around on those... What's those called again? Oh, yeah. Feet. We used to sing Disney songs. That's the place where I used to work as a teenager, and that was McDonald's. So if you were at a McDonald's in Central Illinois back in 2003, and you heard a whole group of the people in the back singing Disney songs, that was me. and getting a whole bunch of other people on there. So we'd sing that. We also sang... obviously, Under the Sea. Yep, Beauty and the Beast was another one. And of course, for some reason, we got everyone to sing, No one sings like us, no one. See, I can't think of it. It's been so long since I've tried to sing those, I'm forgetting most of the words now. I must be getting Alzheimer's. I'm trying to think, of course, we had, I'm trying to think of more Disney songs now. There's absolutely no way that's going to be, flagged by copyright because I'm singing very horribly. Honestly, I think Microsoft came out stronger this year than Nintendo. I kind of think it was pretty even, but, Microsoft had a lot more attitude in their presentation. Kind of reminded me like the old rival days between Nintendo and Sega. Kinda. Love the Xbox show on E3. Just wish they had more games coming out this year. Yep. Fable, Elder Scrolls, Perfect Dark. Yep. Little Mermaid is an amazing one. One of your faves. Music was so good. Okay, we read that. Beauty and the Beast is your favorite. When you got your 1970s Volkswagen as your first car, you named her Belle. Was it yellow? The Volkswagen? Loved that car. I might have given Nintendo a slight edge over Xbox due to Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay. Yeah, but Breath of the Wild 2 still isn't coming out this year. They said 2022, but that could be a placeholder. So, 2D Metroid was probably the thing I'm more excited about because of how close it is to being released. It's close. Might give an edge to Nintendo due to most Xbox games being years away. That's true, too. Every one of those songs in those retro Disney movies are amazing. Yep. Yellow, but painted her white. Okay. Now I'm trying to think of some other ones from those songs. Well, of course, we have to, because my favorite Disney movie, up until another movie took its place, was 101 Dalmatians. So, of course, I could be singing, Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil, she doesn't kill you, no evil thing will. I'm getting half the words wrong, so you can just... That annoys you, sorry. I don't have the lyrics right in front of me, although I could very easily do that. It's apparently very imperative that I try not to. Apparently Google is sucking the... that was lucky. Is sucking the knowledge out of us because we don't use our critical thinking skills anymore to try to... Oh, am I going to get it? Oh! Oh, I got lucky twice. What I really liked about the Xbox show is I can play almost all their games and actually don't have to purchase any of them. Well, technically you're already renting them. You're pre-renting them with your Xbox game subscriptions, but I understand where you're coming from with that. Look at that. I went over all of the amounts and for some reason it went back into the 10,000. Ugh. But that was very lucky. I don't know how I was able to beat that stage. Jet Screamer? That's what I was thinking of, and that's why I didn't start. That's why I stopped singing. See my loafers, former gophers. It was that who skinned my chauffeurs, but a greyhound for a tuxedo would be best. I can't remember what he says next, but then it has Mrs. Potts come in for a second. Get two for matching clogs. See my vest, see my vest, see my vest. I really like the vest. I gather from the song, sir. Some men hunt for sport, others hunt for food. But the only thing I'm hunting for is an outfit that looks good. Yep. See my vest, made from pure gorilla chest. See this sweater, it's no better. Oh, there's no better, it's authentic Irish setter. See this hat, 'twas my cat, evening wear vampire bat. I haven't seen that in forever, and I know more words from that song than the actual Disney movies. What is wrong with me? And now the gameplay is already over, so... Alright guys, that's all I had planned for today's stream. We got through E3 and then some. We heard some horribly sung Disney songs out there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I do have a video coming out tomorrow. My second experience at Peoria QuadCon, where I compete in my first Mario Kart tournament. Jet Screamer, you're a little bit behind me, so you're rolling on the floor laughing. Oh yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me, why I remember that. Now, if you guys start singing the song that Sherry Bobbins sings in that Simpsons episode, I showed that to my niece and nephew, no joke. They sat through the whole thing stone-faced, and when the episode was over, I turned to my nephew and I said, "You guys didn't think that was funny?" And he goes, "That was hilarious." I'm like, "Do you guys just not laugh at stuff?" Like, how can you sit there and not laugh at Sherry Bobbins? And now Disney owns all those jokes. That's what I also think is funny. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you next time. Video out tomorrow. I compete in my first Mario Kart tournament, and you guys will see the results of that in the video. That's all. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, so that's coming out tomorrow. Next live stream is not scheduled until Tuesday, although if the mood strikes me, I may stream on Sunday night. Other than that, I wish you guys a very pleasant evening. Thanks for tuning in to the stream, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night, everyone.